You don't have to act. You don't. Your look is scary. You don't have to. Hi creative friends, this is Cathy from Easy Sunday Club. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the one thing that helped my art business grow, made me a better and more prolific artist, and helped make my art more marketable. And that one thing is I started making art in collections. Now, if you're a fine artist or you follow artists, you may already be very familiar with the concept. Collection is basically bodies of work that tend to go together, whether they are stylistically similar in subject matter, in theme, or in color palette. But I think collections can be beneficial to you as well if you're not a fine artist. If you're creating any kind of creative work to sell, a collection has a lot of different benefits. I'll talk about the 5 benefits that I've identified in this video, and I'll also share with you from my personal experience how making art in collections has helped my business grow. Now, if you're thinking about starting a greeting card line, collection could definitely help you market your work. A good example of a collection you can make if you're starting a greeting card line, for example, is in the year of 2020, there may be a need to send thoughtful messages to people who are full-time working parents who have to cope with homeschooling their kids, or if you are passionate about gardening, you can create a line of cards for other gardening enthusiasts, right? Those are just 2 examples. And especially if you're starting out and you're trying to sell your cards or prints on places like Etsy that are very saturated, having a niche will help you stand out more, and it shows your level of passion and commitment to that subject. So in my experience, when I started selling prints on Etsy, I had about 12 pieces of prints to sell. They were mostly animals at the time. It just kind of happened that way. And mostly my friends and family are the ones who bought the prints initially. After initial launch, things kind of slowed down for a bit. I needed to create new work, but I didn't know where to start. I knew that I needed some constraint or structure around how I was going to create more work, since there wasn't anyone else telling me, what to make. So in the second year that I started my art business, I created a collection called the Alphabet Animals. They're still animals. They're the subject I wanted to paint at the time, but I knew that I was going to create 26 pieces. I was planning on putting them together into a larger collage print, as well as selling them individually as prints. So after 3 months, I released the collection all at once. Throughout that 3 months, I would share some work in progress, a final photo or scanned photo of my painting, and I would share interesting facts about each animal I was painting. About 2/3 of the way there, I was contacted by a very popular environmental website called Mother Nature Network and wanted to interview me for my series because I would often bring up facts that help bring awareness to environmental issues that impacted the animals I was painting. After the blog post with our interview went live, I got hundreds of dollars in sales from that website, which was very surprising and exciting at the time. One, I was just second year into my business, so I had my collection to thank for, because had I not been consistent with the theme, I don't think I would have caught the attention of a writer from a website. Fast forward, after I launched a collection, eventually I turned that alphabet series into a baby blanket that you can see behind me. So this is the Alphabet in the Wild baby blanket. It's actually one of my best-selling products today. If I never started the collection, I wouldn't have gotten to this point. I had never predicted I was going to make baby blankets. That's enough about my story. Now I'll tell you 5 main reasons why I think collections will help your art grow. First reason is it helps to set constraints. I already mentioned this, but I would often sit down and stare at a blank piece of watercolor paper not knowing what to paint. Each time I had to go through the process of brainstorming what I wanted, researching online, find multiple photo references, try to sketch it out, re-sketch it out, and paint. And it just wasn't good use of my time. I realized that I needed to batch that process by putting some constraint around it. So by setting the constraint to around creating animals, I know that today I'm working on the letter D. These are the options that I have under D, and I'm definitely going to paint an animal that starts with D. You don't have to do alphabet or anything like that, but there's certain themes, like if you wanted to do seascapes or farm animals, or like I said, cards about gardening. It just reduces the time that you spend in paralysis trying to think of something to create. Reason number 2, It's a lot easier to market work when you work in collections. Automatically, your work already has a visual consistency when you're sharing them, whether it's on Instagram or Pinterest. And also, when you release the collection at once at the end, people had already seen your work in progress up to that point. So you're helping to build the hype for your work along that journey. And that's what happened with me when I released the Alphabet collection. I sold multiple originals. On launch day, I started building an email list, and people were excited to purchase my work because they had seen it for the last few months. You don't just have to share your completed work either. I think it's helpful to show work in progress. You can do like a top-down view of you painting, have someone, your partner, take a photo of you while you're painting. By creating more content around what you're working on, even though you're not selling it at that moment, it gives people more opportunity to share your content with their friends and family. Number 3, a collection grabs people's attention more and will attract your diehard fans. So imagine you're going to an artist's website that just launched and they have 20 pieces of work. 2 are horses, 3 are human portraits, and the rest are split between random landscape and even ink drawings. That doesn't convey the message that they're serious about their work, even though they could be. Versus if you're an equestrian or like a horse lover and you go to this website and all the prints are about horses, then you're more likely to follow that person's work, even if you don't want to buy something immediately. But then again, you have to be enthusiastic about your topic, right? You can't just paint horses if you're not passionate about horses. And I'm sure you have plenty of things to be passionate enough about to create a body of work around. Number 4, and this one's more self-serving to you as a creator. Creating in collections will help honing your skills as an illustrator, designer, artist, whatever's the skill that you're developing. When I first launched my collection, I was only 2nd year into my business. After 3 months of painting only wild animals, I got a lot better at it. Even though today I may look at some of my past work and it may make me cringe, I know that I improved drastically as an artist by focusing on one type of watercolor. And the last reason for creating a collection is it helps to spark new ideas about new collections or new products. Case in point, again, going back to the baby blanket. I would have never thought of making a baby blanket if I was just painting random art. Not only that, once I launched the Alphabet blanket, I followed it up with a 2nd series that I did in the following year that are exclusively ocean animals in numbers. So alphabet numbers kind of go together, and had I never created an alphabet series, I would have never created numbers. So you never know what your first collection will lead to. It could lead to different opportunities, different PR exposure, and also new products that you would never predict. And that's it for this video. Hopefully it was short and sweet enough for you to take action. Let me know in the comments below what collection you're thinking about creating, what products you're thinking about making from those collections. And if you like this video, check out my other videos on the YouTube channel. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It will help us grow as a YouTube channel for creatives. And as a way to support us, we just created a Patreon page for our YouTube channel. You can find the link in the description for this video, as well as in my YouTube channel profile. And learning is good, but doing is better. You don't have to have everything figured out. You just have to take the next step. So thanks for watching and see you next time.